Well, I think the overall consensus is that we have quite a regressive tax system in which it's the burden of taxation is very great on the poor and the middle class and quite light on the rich and the corporations. So yes, I would definitely say we need to reform the tax system so that the tax load on the poor and the middle classes, both in terms of indirect taxes as well as income tax, is reduced, and I think that will contribute to greater demand that will stimulate the economy. However, for the rich, I think in fact we need to have a heavier load on them because the principle of any economy is of any economy in terms of social justice is those who can afford to do so should take more of the burden. And I think the problem in the Philippines is that there is so much lack of enforcement of collection of taxes at the income tax and corporate level when it comes to the rich. Okay, and so there is a lack of enforcement. There's a lot of corruption when it comes to that, and I think that tax reform should really focus on making sure we plug the loopholes out there. We have implementation, a very strict implementation, and we have a heavier tax load. I think that the rich and the corporations will always say that they're overtaxed. I mean, that is, that's in fact not true. I think that it is the poor and the middle class that are heavily taxed. And I certainly disagree with the people who say we should just have, just like the Republicans in the United States, oh, let's have tax reductions for all indiscriminately. We cannot have that. Yeah, we cannot have that here. At the same time, I think that people should pay some amount of taxes. Unlike, for instance, some presidential candidates who basically say, oh, let's eliminate all taxes for the middle class and the poor. No, I think that there should be some, but quite light, because taxation, just like being part of a labor union, giving taxes makes you part of an economic community. It gives you a sense that you're part of the nation and that you're contributing something. No matter how difficult your situation is, you can still contribute something. So let's not go into corporate welfare for the rich. Let's not go into populism either. Let's have a sane tax policy.
Okay, sir. So with the reforms that you've mentioned, how is it in line with your vision of governance?
I think that I think certainly that my vision of governance is basically, that it is governance that brings the whole nation along with it to prosperity. That's the first thing. Secondly, I am against double standards in governance, and this is the reason I broke with the Aquino administration, because Daang Matuwid was for your enemies and Daang Baluktot was for your cronies. No? You can have that sort of thing. Thirdly, I think that the government should take a very active role in terms of redistribution. The government should take a very active role in terms of an economy, in which social justice prevails. Those who have more should take more of the burden, and those who have less should not be oppressed.